The middle region of the Orinoco River runs for 470 miles through Venezuela. It sits at approximately 8 degrees north and 62 degrees west. This section of the river is divided into two parts. The first is 300 miles long and flows in a general westward direction down towards the conjunction with the Atabapo River, which flows from the Guyana Highlands, and the Guaviare River, which flows from the Andes and is the longest tributary of the Orinoco at 930 miles long. These two tributaries meet up with the Orinoco at San Fernando de Atabapo, a small town of about 5,000 people. The second section, which is 170 miles long, flows northward along the Venezuelan-Colombian border all the way to the Atures Rapids, which occur at the conjunction of the Orinoco and the Meta River. It is flanked on both sides by granite upwellings of the Guyana Shield, which impede the development of a floodplain. The Orinoco was created as water flowed off one side of the Andes Mountains carrying sediment. Over time, this erosion has created an isolation of an area of high sandstone mesas, some as high as 4,900 feet. The origin of the Orinoco River makes it a cross between types P1 and P2 on Potter's classifications, as the river receives water from tributaries from the Andes Mountains, as well as receiving sediment loads from tributaries on another bank as it runs parallel to the mountains. Almost the entire sediment load comes from left bank tributaries draining from the Andes. The right bank tributaries from the Guyana Shield carry a much smaller sediment load than those on the left bank. The Orinoco has a tropical climate with slight changes in temperature throughout the year. The rainy season, from April through October, usually brings an annual average of 40 inches of rain. This climate graph demonstrates the rainfall with the blue bars and the temperature with the red line. In the dry season, November through March, there is very little rain and temperatures can rise above 95 degrees. The middle of the Orinoco has changed over the years due to its meandering. As the sediment erodes, the outer curve of each bend moves that sediment to an inner curve further down the river. This causes the meanders to grow wider and further apart over time. As the course of flow changes, this can cut off small sections of the river, leaving oxbow lakes behind. The Orinoco as a whole averages a discharge of 37,000 cubic meters per second. My research article discusses the migration of many of the native people from this area in about 600 to 800 AD. It is evident that this occurred not only through artifacts found, but also because of the spread of the Caravan language into north-central Venezuela. This map demonstrates the migration routes of the people. The majority of them moved northward through the central llanos. It is theorized that these people left the region seeking to spread their cultural traditions to a wider geographical area. Although this migration was not entirely successful due to there already being many other native groups in the area, there are many artifacts that have been found in places along the Orinoco and its tributaries preserving their culture. Today, local people use the river mostly for agriculture. The water is irrigated and then used to water crops and provide drinking water for animals. Recently, the Orinoco has been a haven for oil developers taking advantage of the weaknesses of the Venezuelan government. Expansion into natural reserves and national parks, specifically in the southernmost part of the river, has been occurring rapidly as the government sees these international agreements as attractive and beneficial to their economy, while not thinking of the ramifications on the natural resources. A popular destination for tourists in the Orinoco is the Orinoco Eco Camp, located far away from any modern city. People are attracted to this camp for the food, boating, wildlife watching, and feeling like you've stepped back in time.